You're sitting alone. No phone, no music, no noise. And within 30 seconds, you start to feel it. A strange discomfort. Like something is wrong, but nothing is wrong. The room is safe. You're not in danger. And yet, your brain is screaming at you to do something. Pick up the phone. Turn on the TV. Play some music. Anything. Just make the silence stop. Here's what's strange. We spend thousands of dollars on vacations to get away. We say we want peace and quiet, but the moment we actually get it, we run from it. Why? Most people think they're uncomfortable with silence because they're bored. That's not it. Most people think it's just a habit. Too used to noise. That's not it either. The real reason is much darker and much more personal. Silence doesn't make you feel empty. Silence makes you feel full. Full of everything you've been avoiding. The thought you pushed aside at 2 p.m., the feeling you buried under a Netflix binge. The question you've been too scared to ask yourself. Silence doesn't create discomfort. It reveals it. And that's the problem. There's a philosopher, Blaise Pascal, who said something in the 1600s that nobody wanted to hear. He said, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." That was 400 years ago. He didn't have smartphones. He didn't have social media. He didn't have 10 hours of content available at the tap of a finger, and he still noticed it. This isn't a modern problem. This is a human problem. We are wired to avoid ourselves. Here's why. The brain is a prediction machine. It is always scanning, always processing, always looking for threats. When there's noise, it has something to focus on. When there's silence, it turns inward. And inward is where the unprocessed stuff lives. The grief you didn't grieve. The anger you called stress. The loneliness you called being introverted. The moment you go quiet, it all comes up. And your brain treats that like a threat. Not because you're broken. Because you're human. You can't eat alone without your phone. Not, won't, can't, try it. Sit down, put the food in front of you. No phone. No screen, no podcast. Just eat. For most people, this lasts about 45 seconds before the anxiety starts. And here's what that's really about. It's not the silence during the meal. It's the you that shows up during the silence. The thoughts that have been waiting patiently all day. Did I say something wrong in that meeting? Why did she say it like that? Am I actually happy? Your phone isn't entertainment. It's a bodyguard. Keeping you safe from your own mind. Sounds small. It's not. You get uncomfortable when conversations go quiet. Someone stops talking. 3 seconds of silence. And you immediately fill it. You say something random, you laugh awkwardly. You pull out your phone. We call it awkward silence, but silence between two people isn't awkward. What's awkward is how fast we run from it, because silence in a conversation means presence. It means you're here, fully, with nothing to hide behind. And that's terrifying. Not because of the other person. Because of what you might feel if you actually stopped performing. We've made connection into a performance. And silence breaks the performance. You need background noise to fall asleep. Rain sounds. Fan. TV on in the background. You call it white noise, but ask yourself honestly, is it helping you sleep? Or is it stopping you from thinking? Because the hardest silence of all is the silence at the end of the day, when there's nothing left to do. When the role you play all day, the worker, the parent, the friend, the funny one, all of it drops away. And it's just you, in the dark, with your actual thoughts. That's when the real feelings show up. The regrets, the worry, the quiet voice that asks, is this the life I actually wanted? And most people would rather not hear it. So they don't. You feel guilty when you do nothing, actual nothing. No productivity, no self-improvement, no content consumption, just sitting. And it feels wrong, like you're wasting time, like you should be doing something. But here's the thing, that guilt isn't about laziness. That guilt is what happens when your identity is built entirely on doing. Because if you stop doing, who are you? If you take away the job title, the busyness, the constant motion, what's left? That question is terrifying, so we stay busy. Not because we have so much to do, because we're afraid of what we'd find if we stopped. Here's the part nobody talks about. We think people who meditate, who love silence, who can sit alone for hours, we think they're at peace, we think they've figured it out. But that's not why they can sit in silence. It's not that their mind is quiet, it's that they've stopped fighting it. The thoughts still come, the uncomfortable feelings still rise. The difficult questions still show up, but they stopped running. That's it. That's the whole secret. Silence isn't the absence of noise. Silence is the presence of everything you've been avoiding. And the people who are okay with silence, they're not empty, they're brave. Here's where I want you to stop for a second, because this isn't about other people, this is about you. Think about the last time you were truly alone. No distraction, no stimulation. Not even for 10 minutes. When was that? For most people, the honest answer is, I don't know, and that's not a small thing. You spend every day inside your own head, but you never visit. You're like someone who lives in a house and never walks into certain rooms. The door is right there. You pass it every day, but you keep walking. Because you don't know what's inside, or worse, you do know, and you're not ready. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The things you're avoiding in silence, they're already affecting your life. The unprocessed emotion is in your reactions. The buried thought is in your behavior. The question you never asked yourself is in the choices you keep making on autopilot. Silence doesn't create those things. It just makes them visible. I'm not going to tell you to meditate. I'm not going to tell you to put down your phone. You've heard that. It didn't work, because the problem isn't the phone. The problem is what you're using the phone to avoid. And until you're honest about that, the app, the noise, the busyness will always win. So here's the real question, not how do I get comfortable with silence, but what am I so afraid to hear? Because that thing, that uncomfortable, inconvenient, terrifying thing, it's been waiting, patiently, quietly, in every moment of silence you've ever cut short. And one day, you won't have a choice. One day, life will force you into silence. And everything you've been outrunning will finally catch up. The only question is, will you be ready?